We're in We're in trouble now.
Breaking news development. This is We're in Trouble Now, and there's been a murder.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my God! Was that too bad?
Yep.
Oh.
So, what we're going to do is Natasha was listening to an older podcast of when we did the murder mystery, and it got my own brain feeling. And we have an extra murder mystery thing here for us to solve.
Okay.
So what's going to happen is we're going to do it very different. Well, not very different. We're going to solve a murder. But
This time we're actually going to solve it?
We're actually going to solve it, but we're going to do this. We're going to do the murder solving part differently than we did the time before. Because before, we kind of just had all the information out. We kind of just, it was a giant gangbang. What?
Well, your water bottle's in my way and I can't see.
Okay. Oh.
There's, yeah,
You just want to look at yourself. You're like a parrot.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like a little parakeet.
Great. So what we're going to do is this time we're going to do differently. We're going to all three solve the murder.
In theory.
But in order for it to transition better on the podcast. Dog is addicted to eating.
She's just eating the dirt.
Only our dog would eat dirt. What we're going to do is it's in an envelope, right? It's an evidence envelope. And there's three of us. What's going to happen is we're going to take turns being the ones to touch the evidence. So basically what it's going to mean is, Brandon, you can start if you want.
Yep.
What you'll do is you will be the only person touching the evidence for a certain time period.
I'm ignoring that.
For a certain time period. We're going to do 5-minute intervals.
Yep.
So only you touch the evidence for 5 minutes. Mom and I can absolutely help, but you have to use your describing words to let us know what you are looking at and what's going on. Okay. And Mom and I
can we ask him questions?
Yeah, we can absolutely help Brandon solve the murder. We just physically cannot touch any evidence. Then when the 5-minute timer ends, right, it'll be Mom's turn. So Mom can only be the one touching the evidence, and you and I have to only provide commentary.
Yeah.
Okay? And then vice versa. So
in theory, this is going to be great.
Yeah. Real quick before we start, though, just because of my train of thought, Brandon, when Natasha comes in October, we are going to dress up in costume and do the podcast. What I was thinking of doing is, because I sent her a TikTok of what we should be dressed up as, and I want to be the nun, and she should be the Nacho Libre, but she did not want to be Nacho Libre. So do you want to be Nacho Libre?
Of course.
And then you'll be the nun?
And I'll be the nun.
Yeah. That works.
So then Natasha and I have to have a Halloween outfit that goes together.
You guys could also be nuns.
I was going to say I want to be an anime waifu.
What?
What?
What? You guys don't know a waifu?
I know. I just. Do you think it'll transition well? Because Natasha's never seen anime.
No. I know.
Has she ever seen Nacho Libre?
Yeah, she has.
But I mean, there's no difference. I'm just an anime character who's typically either a maid or a sexy nurse.
Okay. So Natasha can be Nacho Libre. I will be the nun. Brandon, you can be the maid or the sexy nurse.
That's fine.
And Mom, you can be who's the bad guy?
I'll be like Wesley Snipes. Oh wait, no.
Oh, you mean the bad guy in Nacho Libre?
Yes, the bad guy.
Yeah, it was who was the wrestler's name?
The guy who wore the luchador mask.
Yeah,
so I'll just wear a mask.
Ramses. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking like.
Why would Wesley Snipes be the bad guy?
Yeah,
because I was thinking the bad guy in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
I never.
What the? Wait, was Wesley Snipes the bad guy in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
But I was just imagining me with like a big mustache like yours.
And you thought Wesley Snipes? You thought you?
No,
okay, so word association: mustache, bad guy, and you were like Wesley Snipes.
I was trying.
Literally, is none of those two things.
I was trying to think of something else, and it didn't come out right.
Okay.
So really quick, before we solve the mystery, are we solving the mystery as ourselves, or are we going to have like alter egos?
It's up to you guys.
It doesn't matter to me.
Wow.
Well, hang on, Brandon. Your time didn't start yet.
Oh.
And what are you?
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. Can you put the phone down, Nancy?
Yeah,
I'm getting the clock ready.
Oh, you bullshit.
I call. Don't you even talk?
Yeah, don't you even
Mrs. talk. I'm getting phone calls.
Listen, when you have the evidence, don't make Brandon and I sabotage things. So, Brandon, your time did not start yet.
Don't put it down.
It's literally in an evidence bag.
Crinkle, crinkle,
crinkle. It says to be opened by authorized personnel.
You
I'm authorized.
You were not authorized
until
yet.
the timer starts.
Until the timer starts, you were not authorized.
Okay, well let me just. Okay, why do I have authorized personnel information only if I can't open it?
Do me a favor. Do you want to read the back of it so people know what's going on?
There's a back to it, everybody. Okay, so it says evidence sealed by K. Grayson, date sealed 11/09/1998 or November 9th, 1998.
Oh, so it's a cold case.
It's a cold case.
Unsolved case files R. Oh, there's an R stamped next to it.
But that's the name of the company.
It's a trademark.
It's a trademark name.
Oh,
I just want to let everybody know. The
Okay,
murder
you know what he's
mystery
doing.
game that lets you be a cold case detective on May 8th. Whoa, hold on. Wait.
what?
Yeah, why is it saying on May 8th, the small Indiana town of Riverdale was shocked by the brutal murder of one of its most beloved citizens on the night before her
Because they
wedding?
gave up on it in November.
No, they did not give up on it. The case is
Do
ongoing.
you guys just want me?
Oh.
You guys want to?
Please,
let me,
continue.
Okay, so let me just restart.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. It
On May 8th,
We're not going to solve this.
1998, the small Indiana town of Riverdale was shocked by the brutal murder of one of its most beloved citizens on the night before her wedding. The victim,
He did it.
Harmony Ashcroft, was murdered in the parking lot behind a restaurant during her own wedding rehearsal dinner. Bones McBride, fucking sketchy, a local vagrant, was framed for the murder and has spent over 2 decades behind
Aw,
bars
poor
despite being
Bones.
100% innocent. Your job is to prove his innocence and convict the real killer, but who was it? I don't know. All these people look suspicious. They're fucking smiling. Who smiles after they kill
I think
someone?
they're the ones trying
I
to
don't
solve
know.
the case.
I think
Alright.
they're fucking murderers.
So are we doing aliases or?
Oh, we can't.
I want my name to be Patch McCoy.
Thanks for taking the good name.
What Trixie Wants a Lot name are we going with today?
Oh. Okay, so let me get into character here for a minute.
Well, you don't have to.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
Okay, it's Betty Lou Simpson.
Okay. Brandon?
Come on.
I think I'm gonna go
young man.
with a. I think I'm gonna go with a timid mime.
What?
You can't be a mime
Brandon,
on
you
a
can't be a mime on a podcast.
Why?
Because they don't talk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Brandon, how are you supposed to relay evidence for 5 minutes if you can't talk and you're timid?
my face.
Only
for
YouTube can see
a
that.
podcast.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, don't give me this option.
I didn't.
Just
you don't
who-
have that option.
What's your character's name?
Well, I'm thinking. You guys put me in a
The
tough spot. I could be Ranger Idaho. Idaho.
Ranger Idaho?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right, Ranger, you ready?
Okay, Ranger.
Yep.
Your time.
What is this, by chance?
We're detectives. That's an evidence bag.
He's
I've never seen
Ranger
one.
now.
I've been in the forest for 6 decades.
Brandon, just because your name is Ranger does not make you that your occupation.
I'm in.
And
I'm in the
Rangers
wilderness.
are familiar with how case files are.
That's just my name.
Is it your name or your occupation?
No, my name's Ranger.
So your name is Ranger, who just lived in the woods
Yeah.
and now are thrown into a cold case file.
Yeah, for 6 centuries.
For
Or,
6
sorry,
centuries?
decades.
What are you, a vampire?
Sorry, decades.
So you're 60 years
Sorry,
old.
my family's been here for 6 centuries.
He's a 600-year-old
No,
Ranger.
no.
So you're at 60 plus.
Yes.
You're 60 plus years old.
Yes.
Your name is Ranger.
Ranger, Iowa.
You Ranger, Iowa. And you've been in the woods for 6 decades and just now decided to come out and solve a murder.
Yeah, crazy thing that they picked me right when I was just trying to get some KFC.
Yeah, how do you know what KFC is, Brandon?
I don't know. I read the sign.
You read the sign?
Yeah, I don't know what's in there. I just read the sign.
All right, well,
We don't even have the bag open yet.
No, I'm just saying.
what do you mean you're just saying?
Where's my KFC?
If you
Okay,
solve this murder mystery,
we'll get you some
keep your
KFC. You might not know this or not, but I actually own that KFC.
Oh, you're a
So-
liar.
How do you know?
How
I
do
don't
you know?
trust people.
All right,
That's why I live
your
in the
time
wilderness.
Starts now.
5 minutes. So remember, Ranger, you have to narrate what you're doing.
I am opening up the bag.
See, this is why 2 people talk and one
Yeah.
person does
I
things.
am pulling out. Wow, this thing is actually pretty big, dude. And there's a fly inside. You guys have a really bad place here.
No,
What
we
do you mean
don't.
have a
We
bad
leave the
place?
door open
The
for...
door is open for a puppy.
Yeah.
So there's 3 envelopes. It says one says a bonus envelope A. Do not open until after completing objective 1. So I'm gonna put that face down.
Because I
Bonus
doubt we ever
envelope
get
B
there.
We'll never get to
says
objective
do not
one.
open until after completing objective. You said narrate.
Yeah,
I know
no.
you're doing great.
Oh,
We're
okay.
saying that
Yeah.
we have no faith in our
Oh,
detective
okay. I was
team
like,
Yeah.
because
oh,
one guy has been in the forest for 60 years.
Yeah.
The other one can't control her bodily fluids.
Yeah. Bonus envelope
When I get
C.
excited.
Okay.
Do not open until. Okay, so
Betty
don't
Lou's
open them
kind of-
until you.
Okay, so Ranger...
I'm opening this.
yes,
excuse
I
me.
know.
You did. They're open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it says unsolved case files.
Okay.
with evidence.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, there's a thing on... Before I get into everything, I'm just going to kind of go over everything. So it says unsolved case files.
Apparently.
Instructions. Unsolved case files is a game. Is a game that lets you solve a fictional crime using the evidence and documentation from the cold case file. Case number Alpha 03-0508-1998.
We thought that was the best way to spend our 5 minutes.
Yes. Okay. Objective 1, prove
See,
Bones is innocent. 1 of 3. When you can prove Bones is innocent, visit the webpage to verify
our
after
findings.
So okay. What? Were you going to read this in your 5 minutes?
We don't know.
Exactly. So evidence right here just says photographs. Contains photographs relevant to the investigation. Do not bend. Here's a picture. Even photography. She's actually kind of cute.
Is that a photo of the deceased?
I think so. Oh,
Is there any like thing in the photo?
Just let me do this. Riverdale Police Department case file inventory list. So there's a shit ton of stuff. I'm not going to read that.
Okay, great.
I'm sure there's clues on there somewhere.
Well, okay, well, you got...
No, I don't want you to read the whole thing.
How are they supposed to know what's on here if I can't read it? Newspaper article,
You are not
local
reading,
child
Brandon,
psychologist murder,
Brandon,
quantity 1.
That is like, no.
Evidence
Brandon,
report,
You have
engagement
5
green.
minutes.
How
Brandon,
many
Green.
time does he have left? Can
Brandon,
we
you've
speed
gone
up the
through.
clock?
You've gone through 2 pages.
Corners report,
You've got 2.5 minutes left.
quantity 1. Map of Riverdale, quantity 1. Newspaper article, Bones McBride arrested for murder,
Brandon,
quantity
you
1.
are not
Who's
reading.
Brandon?
Ranger.
What?
For the
You're
sake
not
of our
reading it.
podcast, please do not read the
How am I
inventory
supposed
list.
to figure out this case if I can't
What's
read?
okay? What's behind it? Is that a newspaper clipping?
Yes.
What is it?
Local child psychologist murdered. That sucks, dude. Who
Oh.
killed a child?
We don't
No,
know.
she's
No,
not-
Brandon, it's a child psychologist,
Oh.
not a child.
I was about to say this is horrible. Who did this? Local child psychologist.
Ranger, I know you
murdered.
haven't been out of the woods in a while, but can you rein
So,
it in a little?
so there's like a newspaper article with an added newspaper article. Riverdale Police Department evidence property custody document. Then there goes you're invited. Nose to forehead or bridge. Nose bridge.
Brandon, it's a wedding invitation.
There's I'm just
they're kissing. It's not
Nose-
actual.
who the fuck kisses like that?
Nose
Well,
to
Brandon,
forehead.
it's supposed to be an intimate photo. Their noses are
They're
touching
getting
each other's
married.
Can I
foreheads.
smell between your eyebrows?
No.
Why? They're doing it.
Well, they're getting engaged.
So
Put a ring on it, and you can smell whatever you want.
whatever.
Can I
Riverdale
smell between
Police
your eyebrows?
Department.
No, get away from me.
So it looks like she has a skull fracture.
Oh.
So blunt force trauma to the right eye and
Aw.
anterior scalp. Victim appears to be an average 28-year-old woman in good health. Internal injuries, extensive skull fracture, and severe hemorrhaging over the right eye socket. Cause of death, blunt force trauma of the head. Victim died within moments of trauma. Manner of death, victim was killed by a single strike to the head inflicted by a hand or blunt object. The force and angle of impact indicate the murderer would need to be a left-handed or ambidextrous. Ambidextrous? Why
Yep.
did I
That
say
means
so
you
weird?
can use either your left
Man
or
or
right
woman
hand.
of considerable strength and height. So it's got to be
So
someone
it's a tall person with a strong left hand.
that can
or
also
or,
use right.
or a right hand.
So here's just fingerprints.
No, it can't be, Mom.
There's
They
a
said or
map.
ambidextrous.
Yeah, it said
and I'm not.
ambidextrous.
And who's mom? I'm Betty Lou.
Okay, Betty Lou.
Betty Lou
the
Simpson.
person is either left-handed with the primary hand being left, or
A really
is right
strong
hand-
right-handed person.
No, because it didn't hit him with a right hand.
I think you're being a little.
So, Brandon, these must be the suspects.
Christian Peterson. Well, this is Bones. So Bones is the one that's been in jail
Bones
all
looks
this
a little
time.
upset.
Well, yeah,
I would be
he's
fucking
he was
furious.
wrongly accused.
And then it goes. Wait, let me just keep this in
Yeah,
chronological
keep those
order.
together. You're kind of like.
So, Brandon, tell you what, you
no,
have
he's Ranger.
Ranger. You have 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Any final last statement, and time is up.
Anything that
They're all dudes.
Hands down.
Okay,
All right,
pass it over.
pass it over. What's your name, Betty Lou?
Betty Lou.
Oh yeah, no, it's easier for the person to open it all up and figure it all out, and then
Listen,
you guys start getting the
You know,
fucking meat and
Brandon,
cake.
you
and all
weren't
this.
fucking pussyfooting around
What do
reading
you
off
mean
the
pussyfooting?
Brandon, you're reading the inventory list.
Well, what do you want me to do, Robert? We're gonna eventually have to read it anyways.
We don't need it right now.
It doesn't matter, dude. If we do it now, we won't have to do it later.
We
It would be
won't
like
remember
it'd
it.
be like,
It won't be
wait,
relevant
What was
later.
that one item that he had on the one quantity, one
Okay,
item?
name
that
one
they-
item. Name one item.
There was a picture.
Okay, well, boys, an old man that came out of the woods. I will take over from here.
Okay.
Okay, well, apparently Bones, the reason that they arrested Bones is because it says about 30 minutes after the time of the murder, McBride was found at Grand Park with Harmony Ashcroft's ring in his possession. So nowhere on this coroner report did it say that she did not have her wedding ring.
I don't think a coroner report has
Oh.
information regarding that. It's how you
know
die.
what's kind of I can't touch it. But you know
Can't-
what's funny
Huh.
is that list of items could have figured out if there's a ring.
Well, let's
Brandon,
see.
he was arrested with it on.
Well, yeah, but what did she just say? Yeah, I'm 60. Don't worry about it. And I don't know who Brandon is.
It says, according to police, McBride offered no explanation for how he got the ring. After a detailed assessment of all suspects, witnesses, and evidence available, it became clear that we had identified the assailant. He was found with the victim's engagement ring in his hand 30 minutes after the murder. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Why are you giving me looks?
Because eventually it's got to go into the police station. I'm just saying, you can't, okay, no matter what, even if he had it, dude, the police would have taken it from his possession after they arrested him.
Sure.
So therefore, it would have still been at police
So,
station.
okay, so if the ring is on the item report,
Yeah.
Okay, let's
What-
figure
So
out who
the-
the list of suspects are.
Yeah. So the thing is, though, if he did find the ring, so he may have found the ring on the street, then he was the one that got it pinned on him. Then they fucking took him into the slammer for 20 years.
First, we have Christian Corey Peterson. All
For sure.
right. And it lists his address, his description, and all that good stuff. He needs a shave, and he wears his hair to the side.
I don't
don't
feel
you want to
like
read the testimony? His report? Oh, okay,
I
good.
don't.
Cool.
I guess we're going to judge people by
You-
their hair.
You judged. We have like 9 suspects.
Yeah.
You judged the first suspect's looks.
There's not even 9. There's like 4. So it's like a
Okay,
25%
then we have
chance.
Bones.
Okay. It is
Bones-
progressively getting. Was Brandon was organized? You made the evidence
Oh,
look
yeah.
like a dumpster fire.
Bones. Bones looks really upset. He does not have a middle name.
There's a lot of people that don't have middle names.
Well, we need to solve a murder.
His real name is William.
Okay.
William McBride, aka Bones.
So then where did the bones come from?
I think
His
that's
nickname.
his street name.
Or nickname.
Or nickname.
Ooh, we have Rex Ratcliffe. And if there's Ratliff, Rex Ratliff.
How much time?
Okay. He definitely has a very angry look.
Minute
Again,
44.
no middle name.
Wow.
And no AKA. Now, he really looks like he needs a haircut and perhaps some deodorant.
You sure you don't want to read their testimony at all?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have Andy Allen. Now, Andy looks like a real nice guy, but underneath this real nice guy exterior, I think is a really dark personality.
You know in the testimony.
Yes, probably. And then Derek Sivers. He's a very, I would date him.
Okay. All right. Keep it in your pants,
He's
pervert.
kind of got a wood, kind of look like he would live in, like be a lumberjack.
I'm calling it now. Derek Silvers is the murderer.
Yeah.
Mom is attracted to murderers.
Yeah, dude. How
we go.
how
Mom,
fucking
you
funny.
have a minute left. Are you
Oh.
sure you don't want to solve the murder?
Yeah, I
Okay.
know.
Are you
Let me-
packing up like you're ready, like your shift's over?
Yeah,
You
we
found
have-
the hunk and you're like, well,
we have
case
so
closed.
much to do.
Derek has a middle name. His middle name is Edward, which actually was my dad's middle name. So that's pretty cool. He's divorced too.
He's- I don't.
You have 30
Wait,
seconds
let me
left.
see how tall he is. Oh, he's 5'11". That's pretty. He weighs 203 pounds. And he's never been convicted of any prior felonies. Yeah, he's got daddy material written all over him.
Jesus
so anyway,
Christ.
okay. So going
Who
back,
invited this
I don't
person?
know.
So going back to the first original. Oh, and the original. On the original photography of our victim, she had a
Photo?
necklace. Let's see if the necklace was in
3,
the inventory.
2, 1. Hands
Drop it.
down.
Okay.
Drop it all.
I would suggest that we look for a necklace in the
You can
inventory.
suggest whatever you want. You can see it again when you're done.
Yeah.
All right. Now it's old Patch's turn.
And the funny thing is that once it comes back to me, is I'm gonna be able to look into all of it because I was the one that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Good job.
Good job. Good job waking the dog up.
Yeah, Patches.
I was never asleep. All right.
Good
So what I'm
dog.
going to do is I'm actually going to read the statement form.
Yeah.
Starting with mom's hunk and potential murderer, Derek Sivers.
So wait, you two related?
Nope.
No.
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 God damn.
Why did you say mom then, weirdo?
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh,
name
yeah.
me Betsy McBoob.
No, it's
right.
not Betsy.
So-
Isn't Betty Lou?
It's Betty Lou Simpson.
Guys, okay. So Derek's testimony says, I confirm that this is the man I have seen several times at Helping Hands Mental Health Clinic.
He's at the mental health clinic?
Yeah, well, he has several times at the Helping Hands Mental Health Clinic. Do you want to? Can I
Is
finish?
he a victim?
Hey,
I
just
mean,
he
easy.
just
Let him.
I
Let,
saw him at
yeah,
it.
just we
I have
gotta-
provided landscaping services at the clinic for about 2. If you goddamn let me
Yeah.
fucking
I
finish
just said,
the
oh.
next fucking sentence.
It's his turn for 5 minutes. We don't
Yeah.
talk.
Yes,
no,
we
you
do.
talk.
Well,
Mom's sabotaging
No, I
because
know,
mom
but
doesn't want her murderer boyfriend
I
to
know.
be guilty.
When he's reading the information, we don't
Yeah.
talk.
I would estimate I knew Derek for 2 years. I seem to recall. Wait, I knew Derek. Who the fuck is Derek?
Who the fuck is Derek? Why
Isn't
would-
Derek the fucking guy right there?
Yeah, Derek Silvers.
Yeah. So that means that the killer knew him for 2 years.
Oh, this is Chris.
Who the fuck is Chris?
His name's Chris Adams. I don't know.
Who's Chris Adams?
Look in the fucking pictures.
There's no Chris Adams.
Christopher Adams, first person.
Yep.
Christopher
Peterson.
Peterson. So then who the fuck is Chris Adams?
That could be. It says I make the below statement voluntarily.
He's
this
born on
account is
your
true.
birthday.
God fucking damn it.
God.
Okay. He's a witness. Okay. So it says, I knew Derek for 2 years. This is somebody who's taking a statement about Derek.
Oh,
This could
for
be an
like his alibi.
Yeah. Fuck, dude. For 2 years, I seem to recall that we met when he was exiting the building, and he noticed the Navy tattoo on my forearm. He mentioned that he was also a Navy man, and we struck up a conversation about the difficulties of adjusting to life after leaving the Navy. I would see him after that, and we would talk. On a few occasions, we would just share and nod. I would say that he was genuinely in good spirits when I would see him at the clinic, but there was an occasion yesterday where I would describe his mood as irate.
Ooh.
The incident began when I was at the parking lot. It was yesterday, May 8th, 1998. He had pulled up to the parking lot with an angry look on his face.
Ooh.
I asked what he was doing there. I would usually only see him picking up or dropping off his son, but I had heard through
he's
the
got a kid.
grapevine. Yes, I heard through the grapevine that he has no longer shared custody of him. He proceeded to rant
Suspicious.
about how angry he was that he served his country and can't believe this kind of disrespect he gets from civilians. He then began raising his voice and screaming. I tried to get him to calm
That's
down,
what
but he
he's
kept
done.
screaming. When Mrs. Ashcroft came to the parking lot to get to her car, he began screaming right at her, saying things like, "You have no right to keep me from my son. You will pay for this, young lady." She attempted to simply ignore him and leave, but I couldn't tell she was scared. I have to admit I was a little afraid myself. I've had previous experience with vets who get involved in angry situations, and it's never good. There was a look in Derek's eyes that I had seen before in other vets right before a breakdown. I don't know if he did it, but he sure looked like a man with a lot of rage and nothing to lose.
Okay, I have to just have my statement really quick. While I really respect him for serving our country, I cannot have a violent boyfriend. So he's gone.
He was also, after mom stopped reading about all of his weight and height, she should have kept reading. It says prior arrest, domestic violence in 1994.
Oh, fuck that
Well, it's
shit.
too late. You're already wiped up.
Nope, no, I'm not.
He
semen
was
at the
12 years
clinic.
in the Navy. It says years of military combat training. Does he own a firearm? Yes. Domestic violence, prior felonies, never convicted.
See, that's all I saw.
Okay, great. Pending family court case. He's employed with Walmart, and
I don't like Walmart.
he drives a 1992 Ford Bronco, which is the color black.
Okay.
You know how to
See-
pick them.
Well, I think he's too obvious. Can you do me a favor and somebody see if that necklace is part of the?
What?
One your turn.
Okay.
Yep. It says, this is Derek's sworn interview. It says, Detective, will you state your name for the record, sir? Derek. Your full name, please. How about Chief Petty Officer Derek Edward Silvers?
He's
That
gotta get
enough for you?
latitude.
You want me to provide my serial number and full list of awards and decorations I received during my years of service? In a bad mood, Derek? You could say that. Well, I can think of a way for you to get back onto your day in a matter of minutes. You could start by explaining a few things. Like what? You could start with a conversation you had with Harmony Ashcroft, a conversation that happened to take place just a few hours before she wound up dead. Would you like me to remind... Oh, fuck.
Ah, ha, ha, ha. Looks like you got to pass that shit over.
Poor people are never going to figure out the end of that interview because
Well, they'll figure it out once it's right back at them.
Ranger over there is going to just go off on it.
No, I'll finish it up. Just
You want to
to-
finish writing?
Yeah. I'll finish reading it just to kind of keep everybody in the loop of everything. Because I'm not going to just...
Pink paper.
Yeah, I'm not just gonna.
And a paperclip that Robert is just struggling with.
I wasn't struggling.
fucking-
If Brandon was going to keep reading it, I decided to keep it there.
Wow, you're
Is
a little.
this-
Yeah, that's the pink. That's all that. So he's got multiple witnesses interviewing him.
So okay, so all these yellow pages are for him,
Yes.
but you're reading this.
Yes.
Did you already read all this?
No.
Oh,
Apparently, he was not listening.
I was reading. I mean, I was listening.
Jesus
My lip got
goddamn
stuck. Dude, my
Christ. The
my
fact
mint.
that you're warming up makes me very
No,
nervous.
dude, my mint got stuck in my upper lip, so I felt like a
You
horse.
look like Indy.
Yeah, I felt like a horse. Actually, before I do, no, I'm getting too sidetracked. Wait, where'd you leave off? Wait, because I think you're on the
Here.
back.
No, no. God damn it, Brandon! I was in the middle of the first page.
Well, why don't you just finish it?
Um,
Well, no,
right here,
Okay.
right where my thumb is.
Okay.
Detective.
Detective, according to reports, you said to the victim, "You have no right to keep me from my son. You will pay for this." Sound familiar? Derek Sivers? Maybe. Period. Detective, sounds like you were pretty upset at the young lady. Derek Sivers, I wasn't pretty upset. I was pissed. She testified in court that I was unfit, or that I was an unfit father. Detective, I see. Derek Sivers, can you
You're-
believe
you
that?
are the
After
one
everything
responsible
I've done
for
for
him.
this country, that's how I get treated. Sorry, there's an exclamation point. That's how I get treated?
God damn it.
She just gives her opinion about something that's none of her business, and the government takes away my son. Detective, so did she pay for it? This detective is weird. Derek Sivers,
Is it-
I'm sorry.
Was that an ad lib?
Detective, no.
Oh.
What did you do to Harmony? Tell me. Here's this young snotty lady doctor helping. Wait, this is the fucking detective. What did you do to Harmony? Tell me. Here's this young snotty lady doctor helping the court take your kids away from you. How did she pay for it? Derek Sivers, she didn't. Not by me, at least. You should start by making a list of all the families she's torn apart. Detective. Wait, where was I? Right there. Detective. Really? So it was just a coincidence that you had this issue with her and she wound up dead later that same evening? Derek Sivers, coincidence happen. That's fucking sketchy. Detective, true. You know what else happens? Guys with a history of having a short fuse lose their cool and people get hurt. You ever see that? Well, yeah, but detective, this ever happens to you in the Navy? Derek Sivers, look, what happened in the Navy is not. Detective, answer the question,
I'm so
please.
confused.
Did you ever lose your temper while in the Navy? Derek Sivers, I was a different guy then.
Fred,
Detective.
why did you start it with a question?
What are you
Derek
talking
Sivers?
Oh, well, I'm
Detective?
no, because it's their reading.
I know, but why are you reading
But
it
you
like
don't
it's a
have-
question?
why don't you just change your voice instead of saying who's the name is?
Detective, answer the question, please. Did you ever lose your temper while in the Navy? Derek Sivers, I was a different guy then. Detective, I'll take that as a yes. Do you guys really want to hear me change my voice?
Yes.
Okay. This is just Derek Sivers, just to let you guys know. I'm different now. No more drinking, no more fights. Trying to keep my temper under control. What'd you do? Join a monastery after getting out of the Navy? Like I said, I'm different now.
I thought you were changing your voice.
Everything's different. That's all you got for me. You're different now. With all the potential trouble you're in, Derek, you're going to need more than that. I have to
Probably be
tell
the
you that's not
detective.
the most heartwarming how I turned my life around story. That's why I kind of figured out he would do it. I'm better, okay? I'm traveling with a different crowd.
Brandon, you're
Oh my
not
God,
Hugh
no.
I know
Hefner.
what
No,
to do
isn't it
when my
right?
temper
Will
gets out of
Shatner.
control. Detective,
Brandon, you're making it
what
harder
did
to
you
follow.
do after the blow up at the clinic? Ooh, blow up at the clinic. That's weird.
It's not. No, it's
No,
because
it's like
you
he
got
got
upset.
And
Yeah,
he
there
yelled
was
at
semen at
lady.
the clinic.
No,
Yeah,
Brandon.
semen blowing up at the clinic.
What
What's
clinic?
semen?
Wait, were there semen at the clinic?
Brandon, she's a child psychologist.
No, but wasn't he like in the Navy? There's semen. Right? No?
Yes, we're gonna leave
He's
that as
retired,
yes.
dude. He's no longer in the Navy.
So then he's a retired seaman.
Sure.
He's an old seaman.
He's a chief petty officer.
It's the droopy seaman.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways,
Follow along, people. Follow along.
30 seconds.
I'm better, okay? I'm traveling with a different crowd. I know what to do when temper gets out of control. What did you do after the blow up at the clinic? I met up with a friend and went to the boat in the Ainsley River to get away from it all. Excuse me? I went boating with a Navy buddy, an older guy, decorated war hero, the guy I wanted to be signed up with. And if we contacted Captain America, what would he tell us about you were in the right of the Harmony's mirror? That's Admiral, not Captain, Joseph Arthurson, 2 Purple Hearts, and he'd say I was with him in his boat. How much time? Just letting goes.
Right. Just so you know, you reading faster does not make it better.
Yes, it does. Sharing
6
stories.
seconds.
We
4,
were 100% sober.
3,
It sounds like real good.
2,
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was great.
That was good.
The last part really sunk in.
Yeah, dude, I kind of liked it.
Okay, so we're at 30 minutes. We have read 2 papers. Do you want to? Should we throw aside the time limit because I thought there'd be a lot more headway?
Dude,
Well,
we're getting pretty headway.
But the thing is that this is going to have to be an ongoing thing.
Okay, this can be an
I think that
ongoing
we should
Now, are you guys gonna remember this like 5 days from now?
Probably not.
So that's my problem. Is nobody's gonna remember where we were
Well,
at.
we'll do just a quick recap, like they always do, like on any series.
I'm talking about you two.
Of course, I'll remember. We are
I'm pretty
absolutely
sure
nowhere.
we lost like the people.
No. Okay. So back to this interview.
So to reiterate,
Yes.
Brandon, so we don't need to read the same page.
No,
because
no.
Brandon has said that in this testimony, Derek is saying that he was on a fishing trip with his admiral buddy.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
No,
Why
yeah,
are you
sorry,
taking
no,
my
we-
time?
What the fuck? Excuse me. You were the one fucking just destroying my time. So what it is he's got another.
gotta keep
You
all that
should look
together.
and see if there's a testimony from the admiral, which is in the page that's on your left hand, in the yellow, in the yellow, in the yellow, in the yellow, in the yellow.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to
Fuck, in the yellow.
keep. I'm trying to keep everything.
It's not, but it's completely out of
Admiral
order now.
Joseph Arthurson.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the
Okay.
guy he was talking about.
That's the guy who was with him on the boat
Correct.
after he blew up with this lady. But really quick, before I look at this, I want to see if they found her necklace.
Oh wait, I forgot to start the timer.
Good. Okay,
Dude, it's at 4
so
minutes.
let's
2
see.
minutes.
Bonus, witness, photo, witness.
We're never going to
bonus
solve this murder.
report. Nope.
Can't we
It
just
does
open
not
it?
say
What's the first
anything.
objective?
It
I don't
does.
know.
Don't you dare touch that. It doesn't say anything about her necklace, but I think
What
we
about the
need to
ring?
remember this. Well, McBones had that.
I
The guy-
know, but Brandon's adamant about it being that.
Okay,
Nope,
so
don't touch
the admiral's statement. This is the guy that was with him on the boat. Says, I am very familiar with Chief Petty Officer Derek Silvers. I have known him for many years. He was stationed on one of my ships, and with both of us living here in the same town, we've become friends. I can attest that at the time of the murder, Derek was with me. We were alone together in my boat on the Ainsley River between 8:30 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. We took off from, okay, so we need to figure out when she was murdered.
We can't touch anything.
Okay, well, when you get it, figure it out.
Dude, why don't we just split this up and then just take
So
turns?
each person gets a suspect.
Yeah.
Can I
Okay.
finish my statement? We took off from the Riverdale Marina, traveled as far north as Port Royal Avenue, then turned around and went back to the marina. It had been stressful few weeks for Derek, and he really needed a friend and a mentor to hash things out with. He's having custody issues with his ex-wife. In addition to having been with him at the time of the murder, I can also attest that for his flaws, he has made great strides in keeping his demons under control. As an individual who has struggled with his own issues, I know the road to sobriety isn't an easy one. Amen to that. Okay, so this Admiral guy says...
There's his
that he's with
testimony.
him.
There's his,
Yeah.
his alibi.
Right.
Okay, so who do you want?
Well, hang on. Put it back on the paperclip.
I was going to. God, you were really just...
Where's the fucking paperclip?
Here's the paper.
Well, then hang on. You got too many things to go with the paperclip. That back thing is the photo.
Yes, I
This
know.
is why things belong on paperclips.
Why are you yelling?
Well, why did you not put the paperclip back in?
Just trying to, but you fucking
Where's the paperclip?
foreheads.
It's probably somewhere in all that.
Okay, so who wants Andy Allen?
So are we divvying up suspects?
Yeah, that's what you
because
just
I mean,
said.
it would probably just go
Okay.
a lot
For
quicker.
the sake of, give me Brandon's pedo face.
Rex?
Yeah, it looks like you.
That guy.
He does not fucking look like me.
Show them where.
He's got the same eyes.
Do you want Andy Allen,
Whatever.
or do you want Bones,
No,
or?
I'll take Andy.
All right. So okay. So here's
I'm
the
still
problem.
looking
Here's
for
the
this. I
problem
think
with
we
No,
need
no,
to
no.
figure out the mystery of where the paperclip is.
See, no, the thing is, we're going to go one person at a time.
Oh, okay. So each
Yeah.
person gets a suspect.
100%.
Okay.
Because, I mean, it will just make this go quicker. It'll cover more people. And then we're not kind of just sitting here. It's right here.
I mean, I'm having a good time. 'Cause
I'm having a
it's,
blast.
It's actually really fun.
I'm having a
having
blast.
only one person touch it.
Yeah.
Because when you're like,
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, still, only one person's just going to touch it. But, I mean, like, we're just going to
You
go
can't touch the suspect until it's your turn.
100%.
Okay.
Okay, now, so I'm looking at the coroner report, and does it say it says how tall she is, but it does not say the exact time of her death.
What are you talking about?
Because I'm trying to figure out if he was on the boat during the time of her death. So that seems a little suspicious. So, okay. They found the evidence. They found the ring, her ring. They found that.
Okay, so what about the necklace?
It doesn't say anything about the necklace.
Well, where did you even hear anything about a necklace?
I saw it on the.
She saw a photo of her wearing a
Yeah.
necklace.
Yeah,
and
she's-
so she assumed that somebody killed her for her necklace.
Okay,
Why?
here's the thumbprints for
Bones. Yeah.
And I think it's going to be important because remember they said that they had to be left-handed.
Yeah.
Maybe
There's
he.
ambidextrous.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
He's
Okay,
got all
he's
his
got all his
fingers.
fingers. Okay. All right.
How does losing a finger make you less ambidextrous?
Who was she getting married to? Why isn't he a suspect?
Because it's
What's his name? You have 52 seconds.
He was. It doesn't say.
Mom, they has to have a save the date.
It says you're invited
Okay, what's the back
for the
side?
rehearsal dinner of Harmony and Christian.
So Christian.
Oh, he's way cuter. That's not the same person. He's
It has
way
to be.
cute.
Well,
He's
read
way
the
No, he's
testimony.
cuter when he's sniffing her forehead.
That couldn't, Mom, these are actors. This is probably not the same people.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like, they don't look the same at all.
yeah. I'm like, maybe that's why he killed her because she was cheating with somebody else
It's
and letting
possible.
him
Yeah.
sniff
20
through
seconds.
her forehead.
So Mom has the witness statement of Christian Peterson.
Yes, the actual
who
fiance.
is the fiance to Harmony.
Who wants
uh,
Bones? Who wants the
I'll
actual
take-
guy that
well,
got convicted?
Well, there's not enough.
I know,
So,
because Brandon and I are going to share Christian.
okay. I'll take
And
I'll
then-
take bones.
You want bones?
Okay, then or
Time's up.
Chad, what was your name?
Patches.
Patches and I are going to share Christian.
Okay.
Okay, so in the 5 minutes that I had the file, I got absolutely nowhere.
Oh, I know. And you didn't really tell anybody what you were doing. You were just kind of reading.
All you had to do, you were like, look for a necklace. The necklace.
Why are you taking my people?
Because it's my turn.
Oh,
All right, so it's my turn. Time started now.
well then you need
I'm gonna-
Brandon's
first of all, I'm
people
gonna-
too.
First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to organize this goddamn.
Why don't you look through the evidence?
I'm looking through the evidence.
Mm.
We can't look through that.
Why not?
Yeah, we can.
What does it say?
No, it just says
Evidence?
contains photographs related to the relevant to the investigation. Do not bend.
Well, hang on. First of all, we got to look through the statements of the witnesses or the possible suspects.
Mm-hmm.
Why? That's what we were doing, wasn't it?
Yeah, or the yellow thing. What? Say something.
Nothing. I'm just wondering why nobody's keeping a closer eye on Ranger.
Yeah, Ranger's a little shady. Maybe Ranger's the killer.
So,
Yeah.
are you going to take 5 minutes to rearrange?
Yeah, dude, what are you
I'm
doing,
looking at
Mama?
everything. I'm
Yeah.
just getting an inventory. It's called an inventory.
You're like Indy and you're touching everything.
aren't you supposed to make this more like you gotta tell people what you're
Yeah.
doing?
That's your guys' fucking job. That's why there's
Okay.
only one person touching.
Why?
things.
Okay, but that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, 'cause you
because
told
I
me to
talked
talk.
and you yelled at me when I talked.
100%.
I'm making the rules as I go. This is fucking insane that you guys don't know how this
I
works.
thought we had to talk the entire time of looking.
and
yeah,
then
that is why you're using. That's why I'm saying don't waste my fucking time. You guys are linked with the murder.
okay, so you're
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm looking at Rex Ratcliffe.
Thank
which is-
you.
got the same.
who looks a lot.
It looks a lot like Brandon.
It does not look like
Looks
me.
like
He's
Brandon
got
when he's a
green
little
eyes.
hungry.
Is that the
This
only
statement
difference?
says I was home the whole time.
And he's balding.
I got home from
Yes.
work around 9 p.m. and stayed in my apartment all
What does he
night.
do for a living?
This guy works at Gold's Gym, so he
Does
is
he
strong.
really?
Sure?
He does
Yeah.
not look like
He's
he works at a
5'9",
gym.
so he's a little smaller than Derek.
Yeah.
Also, it shows her height right there. She's 6'2".
God
that's
damn.
No, that's
Oh, that's
Bones.
Oh, okay.
No, she was only 5'4".
She was 5'4".
Yeah.
You read that somewhere?
Yeah, on the autopsy report.
Oh, okay. So she's 5'4". He's still taller.
Yeah, and she only weighed like 125
Yeah,
pounds.
no prior convictions, no prior military experience. He works as a janitor at Gold's Gym.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So Rex says, "Oh, dude, of course it's in fucking cursive. Might as well be in Egyptian."
No, is that Rick's statement?
No,
or-
this is a witness statement by Cherry Pratt.
I have to remember that name. I want to be that.
Cherry Pratt.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says, I have had contact with Rex Ratcliffe in my job as office manager of Helping Hands Mental Health Clinic.
Oh, so
I
they're
can-
all connected.
Yeah, they're all connected to the mental health clinic. Yeah. And it says, I can vividly remember his face and that look on his face, like just like Brandon. I would
Yeah, kind of has a murderous
describe
look.
his look as predatory.
What the fuck? Did I have a predatory look?
Our first contact took place when he made his first call to the clinic. I
Oh.
don't recall the exact date. My memory of talking to him was that he made me uncomfortable.
He made Cherry
We obviously
uncomfortable.
have many clients, sorry, it's so hard to read in cursive, who suffer a wide range of mental health problems. But Mr. Radcliffe seemed to be on edge more than most. Mr. Radcliffe began by telling me a few basic things about his mental health. He mentioned that he was feeling depressed and lonely, but he
Aw.
seemed uncomfortable about sharing more specific details. He mentioned that he needed to see Harmony. At this time, I told him that Harmony was a child psychologist and that he was free to set up an appointment with Dr. Breeson, the other psychologist in our clinic. He immediately became irate.
Doctor Who?
Breeson. He says, I then tried to work with him on a few other options. I mentioned that I could possibly refer to him another clinic, but once again, this made him upset. He told me that it was important that he see Harmony before it was too late. I then asked what he meant by that, and he hung up.
So do you think maybe he...
Do you think you ever heard something?
Yeah. That's
you know? Because I mean, I
maybe
don't.
Maybe
I,
he was like trying to warn them.
yeah, because I don't want to. I don't want to just like
Okay.
pin it in on him. Because I mean, I'm not gonna just put him on like the.
Okay, give me a second. I got a thought.
Yeah.
What if he's at the gym cleaning up and he overhears something that he wants to tell her?
Wait, but aren't they? Isn't it a minute
So we
clinic?
kind of fucked up. We didn't realize that these yellow pages are double-sided.
Yeah, no, I knew that. I looked
Yeah.
on the back of mine.
I didn't read mine.
Oh,
So it says approximately 30 minutes later, he showed up at the clinic. Although he did not, immediately identify himself, I knew it was him. At this time, he angrily approached the desk, demanding to see Harmony. He was now becoming loud and disruptive. Dr. Breeson came out of his office saying, is this man causing a problem? Once Dr. Breeson appeared, Mr. Radcliffe seemed to calm down a little. So I said, no, everything is fine. At this point in time, Mr. Radcliffe no longer seemed to be a threat. Mr. Radcliffe then said something like, I'm sorry to cause any problems.
just continue.
Okay. You just don't want to recursive.
No, no. I mean, no. It just.
I'm sorry to cause any problems, but I really need help, and I need it from Harmony. After I explained to him that this was not possible, he turned and left. Dr. Breeson and I watched him as he left the clinic. I seem to recall Dr. Breeson giving me a shoulder shrug on some kind of sympathetic gesture. I think he then said, I guess that's the end of that. But the calls kept coming. Once again, I tried to suggest that he see another therapist, but he was very insistent that he see Harmony, and only Harmony. She needs to see me, was all he would say. She kept calling all the time for the past few weeks. Or he kept calling all the time for the past few weeks. I then asked our phone company to... to fax a report of all the calls he got from him, and they were increasing almost every day. There was another incident that took place in the parking lot on that day of the murder. Someone in the parking lot got reported a car coming by and a man screaming from the car. At this time, I was not comfortable driving home on my own. After calling the police to report the incident, I called a friend to pick me up. So the incident was outside was Derek.
Mm-hmm.
So that's who she heard of when they were screaming.
Yeah. But I'm still thinking that he was trying to... Do you think maybe he was like trying to warn her of something?
I think it seems like he was trying to warn her. So he was working at Gold's Gym.
Yeah.
So maybe if there's somebody there who's working out, because they did say that the murder was most likely strong.
Yeah.
So it's somebody who frequents Gold's Gym.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's the that Allen guy.
Yeah. Right now, I'm just opening up. Holy shit! There's a bunch of pictures.
Is there a little magnifying glass?
Yeah, it is, or something.
Yep, magnifying glass.
Huh. Actually, that's really cool. All right, let me see this real quick.
So that's the body of
Yeah,
Harmony.
so here's like a bunch. I gotta move the mic just a smidge. Here's a bunch of pictures of the person. So she's, this is May 8th, 1998, 9:48 p.m. She looks like she's lying on the floor. 9:43. Is this going backwards in time? Okay, well this one's just 9:43, empty little alley, and then
It's
it goes.
like they're taking pictures of the crime
Yeah,
scene.
Tully's. It was outside Tully's restaurant, 1998, 9:30 a.m. Here's Jenny Rogers. Who the fuck is Jenny Rogers? Here's Officer Kent Grayson.
He's probably the guy that
Wally Big Dog Bryson. Cheryl Pratt.
That's the girl who gave the report for Rex.
Oh,
Lackley.
so then these are all the people.
That's the girl that works at the clinic.
Miss McCoy.
Who's Miss McCoy?
Chad
Miss McCoy is
Highsmith,
Rex's landlord.
Jason Grigg. So these are all the people that are like the witnesses. And
Yeah,
okay.
these are the people giving the
Chris
statements.
Adams, Admiral Joseph.
Oh yeah, he looks like an
Arthurson.
admiral.
Yeah.
Here's that. And it says death. And here's a wedding ring that says till death
Yeah,
do we
that's
part.
the wedding ring that they found on Bones McCoy.
Yeah, and there's like an A03. It just has the case number. But I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out why they're going to give us a magnifying glass.
Because I would look at the crime scenes. There's something that they want us to find.
There could be like a car with a license plate. There could be something.
Does it work, Brendan? That's not really how magnifying glasses work. There you go.
No.
No, it works.
You don't put
Is
it
it?
like right on the paper.
No, because I was just like,
Okay, Brandon is
I have to like really.
looking at the photo.
Great.
Yep, this is fun.
Well, I don't know what I'm
you're
literally
supposed
like.
to be talking.
Yeah.
You are too, dude.
I am. I'm like magnifying glass out.
I know. And then
So what are your suspicions?
I think it's somebody who works out at Gold's Gym that Rex overheard talking. That's why he's so persistent. There's some sort of feud somebody's boiling up in rage that has lasted over a couple of months, obviously because Rex keeps trying to talk to her. But he doesn't want to openly admit that like somebody's might like, excuse me. Yeah,
Well,
thank you.
maybe he kind of, but you would think like if he overheard,
He would call the police or
See,
something?
I don't think he overheard somebody saying that they were going to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
I think he overheard like some sort of like maybe an affair or a
Could be.
plot
Yeah,
or
could be.
blackmail or something like that.
Well, when it's your turn, check out your guy and see what he does.
Derek?
The fiance. Yeah, the fiance.
Oh, the fiance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know how she died?
She.
Blunt force
Oh yeah,
trauma
blunt
to the
force
head.
trauma to the head.
Yeah. Now
I
on the
just
one,
don't see-
Brandon,
huh.
the one where she's laying, or Ranger, the one where she's laying on the ground, is there anything on the ground, like maybe like a
there's
clue,
nothing.
like a key or
Or like a weapon.
a weapon, a letter?
It could also have been a hand. So it could have been like a freakishly strong man.
Yeah, like maybe somebody with like walking around with one really big crab arm.
Yeah, that would be easier to solve. But yeah. You
Yeah,
know.
it's just it's so hard because it's like laminated, and I'm trying to fucking figure out if these are like footprints. I don't know.
Sorry, Natasha just texted me.
Okay,
So
that's really fucking weird.
I can't touch it.
No,
Can't touch it. Brandon's got a minute left.
Dun, 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 dun. Who are the kids?
I
We don't know. We've only read half of the suspects.
Yeah.
Oh. And then there's a farmer.
Brandon, why are you magnifying the farmer?
I was trying to figure out license plate.
Oh, who's that guy?
Oh,
he
you'll
looks
find out when you
nice.
can.
Okay, but why don't you talk out loud while you look?
Because I already read it.
What do you mean you already read it?
Well, no, I read all these names.
Okay. So is there any substantial evidence in those photos?
I don't see shit.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird.
Is it?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Mom.
So
I'm
gonna
not touching
He was trying to
anything.
touch the evidence.
I know. So I'm just gonna
I'm like
go,
Indy. I touch things with my hands.
Here's
Right, you have
bones.
25 seconds.
Okay.
See, but we
don't
already know
own a
that.
car.
Or did maybe Bones really do it?
I was at Rambo's bar until right after 9 p.m. From there, I went to the Grant Park to get some rest and fell asleep. The next thing I remember is being surrounded by 20 officers, shining lights in my eyes. Someone put a ring in my hand while I was sleeping, or one of the police put it on me.
3, 2,
Name
one.
is Wally Bryson.
put
Okay, so we know that Bones.
it down.
He had the ring, but he thinks somebody
no,
like
no,
plant.
no. We really, we really need to talk into that one because I'm sorry.
Well, use your words.
Use your
Yeah,
words.
okay, yeah. So with Bones McCoy, it's right here. It says person of interest. I know it's not my time anymore.
That's fine.
But it just says individuals who can confirm your whereabouts. And it was Wally Bryson, relationship bouncer. He doesn't know his phone number, but I did see a bigger gentleman in here, and his name was Big Wally. Yeah, Wally Big Dog Bryson.
Sure.
So he saw him there. So
Yeah.
he also, it's not like
So there might be a witness statement in
There
there
is-
from Wally.
there is.
Well,
a
read
witness
it,
statement. Well, I can't. Well, it's not my turn.
Well, Mom, you want to read it?
Yeah, do you want to read it?
Just so we can
Um,
stay on the same train of thought?
Well, yeah, because what I was going to do is I was going to look at. Go ahead and read it because I was going to look at the.
Yeah, Brandon, go ahead and read
Okay,
it.
so
For
here's
this
the
thing.
witness statement form from Officer Kent Grayson. Yeah. So it says the suspect was an individual we've had many prior encounters with. His name is William McBride. He is known as Bones McBride. Had been spotted many times sleeping in Grant Park or in various public places around town. His priors consisted mainly of public drinking and disturbing the peace. So it's not that bad. It was 10 o'clock when I approached the suspect with the intention of waking him up and telling him to move along. But when I saw something unusual in his hand, I immediately contacted my captain at the station. He told me to place the suspect under arrest for murder while he called for backup. We had been aware that the murder had taken place that night and that a suspect was at large. By the time Mr. McBride had woken up, the backup had arrived. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So is he the bouncer or
No,
is he the officer?
This is.
I thought that was the statement from the bouncer.
No, this is from.
It's a statement from the police chief.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We had been aware that a murder had taken place that night and the suspect was at large. By the time Mr. McBride had woken up, the backup had arrived. He seemed quite disoriented. He was then told that it was under arrest for the murder of Harmony Ashcroft. At this time, the suspect became belligerent and uncooperative. He repeatedly screamed that he was innocent and he didn't know where the ring came from. There's nothing on the back.
Okay. What about the bouncer? Is the bouncer's testimony in there?
Yeah, his is right here.
Read it.
So Wally's is, I confirm William Bones McBride was removed from my bar at 9 p.m. on May 8th, 1998. This is a man I have seen on a number of occasions at my place of employment, Rambo's Bar. Bones is a regular customer there. I would describe him as a nice guy. He is well liked by the staff and other patrons. On a few occasions, we've had to warn him not to panhandle in front of the bar, but apart from that, he's usually fine. He's even charmed his way into a few free beers. That's the kind of guy he is. I remember seeing him last night on the 8th. It was a Friday and he came in smiling as usual. But I also remember an argument that took place right at 9 p.m., the end of happy hour. Bones missed the last call for a free happy hour drinks and was upset because he was broke and he was yelling at the bartender for ignoring him. The bartender signaled for me to escort him out, so I did. By then, things had calmed down, and Bones was on his way out, ready to leave on his own. He said something like, "I'll just go get some money and be back in an hour." As Bones left, me and JT, the bartender, looked at each other and smiled. We expected him to go out in the front of the bar and panhandle like he had done in the past, but he didn't. He walked out the door and kept walking. I figured he had some other way of finding some money. I haven't seen him since. So he saw him at the night.
Yeah.
So he was just going to go panhandle or something or go find some money. Something tells me that he's not an aggressive person.
Well, yeah, if you look at his testimony, he
Yeah.
was nice and friendly and fun.
Yeah. So I think, Bones is definitely,
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
that's what I'm thinking.
All right. You ready, Mom?
Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at this fiance. For one thing, I'm not a fan of his picture.
Okay.
All right, person of interest.
How tall is he?
I'm looking right now. So he is 28, 6 foot, 180, shoe size 10, dominant hand left. 'Cause
Really?
remember, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you look on Bones's? What's his dominant hand?
It says, let's see, wait here. She says dominant hand is left.
Okay. So on his, the marital status, it looks like it was crossed out, like angrily crossed out for some reason.
Well, because his wife or fiance just got killed.
Oh, well, that explains it. Ooh, he's a realtor. Okay, so it says Harmony and I went to the parking lot to check the Land Rover for my parents' presents, but they weren't there, so I drove home to get the presents and left Harmony in the parking lot to return to the party. She was 50 feet away from the door when I left. Police apprehended me at the house when I was picking up presents. That's his statement.
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying that she was alive when he left.
Okay.
So that's what he's saying.
And that's her husband.
Yes. Now, Jenny Rogers is the individuals who, so Jenny Rogers is his alibi,
Yeah.
which is kind of suspicious since he was engaged to Harmony.
Who's
Well,
Jenny
you
Rogers?
can have female friends.
Yeah. Okay, so Jenny says Harmony has been my friend since college. We have always been very close, and that's why her murder is such a devastating event in my life. I was there the night that Harmony and Christian first met. Harmony and I were at the nightclub enjoying a rare night on the town. We were both in grad school working pretty hard, so it felt good to get out. And spend an evening doing something other than writing papers. But it was a typical night at the nightclub. Guys were difficult to deal with that night with all their corny jokes and come-ons. Then along came Christian. He walked up to Harmony, took a seat, and smiled. After a few seconds, he said, "How do you like me so far?" We all burst out laughing. It was like he somehow knew how rough the night had been, and he was determined to rescue Harmony from it. And that's what Christian was to her, an escape from ordinary guys. He was exciting to her, and of course, he had her wrapped around his finger. The engagement party started off lots of fun until the argument. There was supposed to be presents for Christian's parents, but I guess there was confusion over who had to bring them. Harmony was certain that she had left him in the car, but Christian thought she had left him in the house. They weren't screaming, but they started getting snippy with each other in front of everybody, and it was kind of awkward. I think maybe the pressure of the wedding was getting to them. Getting married isn't easy. Christian had a look on his face that was kind of intense. His jaw was clenched and his eyes were red with anger. They left the party together to see if the presents were in the car. You got the feeling that the argument probably continued outside as they left. When they left, you could hear a pin drop. Then my sister told a joke like, "I can see Harmony inherited her memory from Mom." That lightened up the mood up a little, and people got back to normal until the busboy came running in saying Harmony was hurt in the parking lot, and we all rushed out at once.
Whoa.
My initial reaction was absolute shock. Harmony's brother is in med school and started trying to do CPR or something, but we could see that she was already dead. I'm still in shock. We told police Christian killed her, but nobody actually saw that happen, so it could have been someone else. Harmony's told me about a few weird guys at work, a stalker, and some deadbeat dad. So the deadbeat dad is
Derek. And the stalker is Rex.
Yes.
So that just leaves
Leaves your homeboy over there.
Yeah.
Andy Allen.
Yeah, you should check them out. Talk to her office manager, Cheryl. I don't even know what to think right now. So nobody saw the fiance drive away.
Yeah, no, okay. So then was Christian even in like the event when...
Well, here's the interview.
Or did he like leave?
Here's the interview with the detective, if you want me to read it.
Please.
Okay, so it starts off first with the detective. Please state your name for the record. Christian Corey Peterson. How do you know Harmony Ashcroft? She's my fiance. We're supposed to get married tomorrow morning. I know this is difficult, but can you tell me about where you were when you learned of Harmony's death? Christian's answer was, I was at my house when the police came storming through the front door. There must have been 20 of them. I didn't really know what the heck was happening, to be honest. I thought it was some kind of joke until one of them tackled me and slammed my face against the floor. They thought I killed her. It wasn't me. Obviously, it wasn't me. What other leads do you have? I know 2 or 3 people you need to talk to. Let's back up a little to the argument, says the detective. Do you need me to remind you? Christian says, yes. Harmony and I had a little disagreement over what happened to the presents for my parents. Was this a common thing, the 2 of you getting in fights? Asked the detective. I wouldn't call it a fight. I would just call it a disagreement. That's all. You didn't answer my question. Was this a common thing? No, I don't think. Detective says, you don't have issues with your temper? No, I don't. You ever hit Harmony? Never. For a guy with no anger issues, you seem pretty hot under the collar. Christian responds, my fiance is dead. I was supposed to get married tomorrow, and now I'm sitting in this box with you. Why are you questioning me? We're wasting time. You think I'd just get into an argument with her in front of both our families and then take her out back and kill her? Who did then, says the detective. Ratcliffe, the guy at the clinic. He's been stalking her. Why are you not grilling him like this? Interesting, says the detective. Or maybe that psycho Navy guy who lost his kids. I don't know his name, but he blames Harmony for losing custody over his kids. He was a deadbeat, but I told her not to testify. It was too risky, but she didn't care. Had you ever met either one of these 2 guys, says the detective. No, but Harmony painted a pretty good picture for me. She talked about the one guy was stalking her, calling the clinic, coming down, making threats, and the other guy with the son. He's a psychopath. He has PTSD or something probably. I can't believe I did that. I'm sorry? I should have done more to protect her. I knew that guy was stalking her, but we just thought after a while he'd run out of energy. I should have done more. I should have never let her stay there on her own like that, especially knowing some creep was after her. I swear she was like 50 feet from the door when I left. Were there footprints? Do you know where the killer came from? Detective says, how would you describe your relationship with the victim? Excuse me? Would you describe it as healthy? Were you both happy? She was everything, says Christian. What I'm asking is, she was everything. So there was no abuse, no control issues? Christian responds, abuse? Are you listening to me? Are you crazy? I wouldn't hurt her for anything. As for control, I just wanted Harmony to be Harmony. That's all. I didn't need to control her. She can't be controlled. I just wanted her to be who she was forever. I wanted us to grow old together, till death do us part. Till what? Till death do us part. It's just a stupid thing we say to each other about the wedding. But now he starts to cry. Detective, that will be all, Christian. We will be in touch. If there's anything else that you can think of that will help us, don't keep it to yourself, okay? I thought I did a really good job.
You
on
did
that
really
one.
good.
So I think I don't know. He was a very finger pointing, blaming, but okay. So
I think he's too close to the victim for it to be.
The one thing I noticed when reading this, he was asking about footprints.
Yeah.
So
I swear I thought I saw some in the picture. Like,
Yeah.
that's just the thing. Like, I thought I saw some, but like, it's just, again, like the glare is so hard and this thing has a glare, but it looks like there's like 2 footprints right here. And I know it's your turn, Robert, but
because to me, it's kind of suspicious that he would say that.
It's-
like almost like he was wondering if they could see his like footprints in blood or something.
or they're almost, it's almost like he's just trying to pin it on these other people. So, but the thing is that
Let's see the other photos.
this guy has not been
I was reading that guy. I was kind of cheating a little
That's
bit.
fine.
Mr. Andy Allen.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
A.
he never mentioned him though.
Yeah, Mr. Andy Allen's a fucking, he's
He's kind of a creeper.
he's a shadow.
Yeah, he's a creeper shadow.
Yeah, because I mean, again,
Actually,
I haven't heard anything.
check this shit out.
Right.
Right, you're right. So Andy Allen's car is at Tooley's restaurant bar.
So he was there the night she was killed.
He was there at 9:38 p.m. At least at the time this photo was taken. His gray silver Honda license plate 644435 is right here in this photo.
Check all the other people, see if any of their cars.
Here, I'll let you do that while I read. So I'm reading this guy's statement. Now, he is right-handed, but on the person of interest form, it says, what's up?
Okay, Brandon, Derek has a Ford Bronco.
Yeah. So in this guy's statement, he was borrowing he was working on his alibi is, I was at home fixing brakes on my car all evening. I went to bed around 11 p.m., but at 2 a.m., I received a phone call from Deborah Ashcroft, Harmony's mother, and she explained to me that Harmony was murdered at the party. My neighbor Jason can confirm I was fixing my car when the crime happened. And this is his neighbor's testimony.
And really quick,
Yeah.
though, Brandon, Rex, he drives a Chevrolet Chevette. So Ford Bronco and a Chevrolet Chevette. Go ahead, Robert.
So it says, I've known Andy for about 3 years, and he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. I've never seen him violent or angry. When I heard about the murder, I wasn't sure what to think. I remember being disturbed by the news and surprised that this kind of thing would happen randomly. It immediately reminded me of something my father, a career police officer, said to me when I was a child. He said most murders are really more about love than hate. At the time, I didn't understand what he meant by that, but as I have gotten older, I understand it more. Harmony's murder was a shock to everybody, even people like me who just knew her casually. She was so young and beautiful. I was aware of how close she and Andy were. I know they were been friends since childhood. Little League, I think. After the murder, I began to think of a few strange conversations I had with Andy. There was one occasion when we were joking about how hard it is to be just friends with a woman. At one point, he began staring off in the distance and said, I guess it can work as long as you never fall in love. I laughed, but he didn't. I didn't even ask who he was talking about. I didn't even have to ask who he was talking about. He talked about Harmony a lot. It was apparent that he had strong feelings for her. And then on the back, it says, after Harmony and Christian got engaged, I recall Andy joking about how funny it would be if he got drunk at the rehearsal dinner and told her how he really felt. I could sense this was something he was seriously considering. The subject was dropped immediately. A few days later, I believe it was a few days before the rehearsal dinner, I asked him if he wanted to come with me to my daughter's basketball game that night. I was actually trying to keep him from going to the rehearsal dinner. I didn't want him to embarrass himself and make things awkward for the wedding, but he made it clear that he really wanted to go to the party. The conversation ended there. On Monday morning, after the murder, I offered my condolences to him at work. His eyes looked lifeless. I could tell he was distraught. I asked him what he saw at the party, but he told me he couldn't go because he had to fix his brakes. I remember him saying something about how it took a while to do because he wasn't very experienced and had to borrow a tool to finish the job, and by that time it was too late to go to the party. Then he told me about the phone call he got at Harmony's mother's at 2 a.m. I can't even imagine how devastating that must be for him. The feeling might not have been mutual, but she was the love of his life, and I think he blames himself for what happened. Like he could have stopped if he had been there. I've been thinking about Harmony and her fiance. I didn't know Christian that well, but I think it's possible that there was abuse. He was known to be a kind of a jerk. I'm not sure what Harmony saw in him, to be honest. It then occurred to me that maybe Andy knew something about Harmony and her relationship with her fiance, which is why I called the tip line. That's why I called you guys. I was thinking you might get some helpful information out of him. I know he's not the murderer. Even if he wasn't stuck at home fixing his car, Andy would never be able to do anything like this. He's probably the kindest guy I know, and he loved Harmony. So I'm not going to read the second part, but the second part is saying that J.P. Griggs, who is
Jason Griggs.
Yeah. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, it's this guy.
Oh, this is Andy's neighbor.
Yeah.
He's saying that he borrowed a torque wrench. It says, anyway, he came. It says, I've only been living on Andy's block for a few months, so I can't say I've gotten to know him real well, but he seemed like a nice guy, the kind of neighbor who wouldn't be afraid to invite over for a beer or something like that. Anyway, he came over to borrow a tool that Friday night around 10 p.m. I know it was 10 because Dateline was just ended. Andy asked for a torque. I think that's what he said, torque, wrench to borrow. Told me he'd been fixing his brakes for the past few hours, which I don't doubt because he seemed kind of sweaty and out of breath. He's a big guy. We had a laugh about how things always go. You spend hours on the job, then just as soon as you're about done, that's when something breaks and you can't finish. I gave him the torque wrench, and that was it. He seems like a good guy. I told him just to stop by anytime he wanted to work on cars or have a beer, but I haven't seen him since. I haven't seen him again since then.
So what time was that?
He said 10 o'clock. But
That
that
was
photo
after the
was at
murder.
9:38.
Yeah, I was going to say that was after the murder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you guys look at, because there's also a map, and I'm kind of like looking at this map
Yeah, we
just a
can
little
we
bit.
can all kind of
Yeah,
bunch in
no,
them.
I'm just looking at this map because there's nothing that shows Andy anywhere on here. But if he's Jason Griggs,
That's his neighbor.
yeah, so Jason Griggs, his house is, I don't know, maybe like a couple miles away from Tooley's.
Yeah.
Because it goes Rambo's Bar, and then it drops down a little bit to Tooley's,
Yeah.
and then it looks like arrows going over to Grant Park.
Mm-hmm.
But even if it was Bones, she died at Tooley's, right?
Yeah, she did.
So then that would mean if he was drunk, there's no way he's going to come over here. He's just going to come over this way and just go to the park. Because that's where he was saying, like, I'll read his witness statement.
he stumbled to
Yeah,
the park.
he stumbled to the park. So there's
Yeah.
no way that he's going to really realize that, oh, my bad.
And the park is on the way back home from Jason's house.
Yeah, exactly. So if this Andy guy did do it, he would go this way, kill her, walk around, and then back down. So it's almost like he's just it. So if he's his neighbor, he's going to go over here, walk this way, and then just kind of come around. Like it's just a big walk.
Wait, hand me the photo of the car.
It's so close.
Yeah, because he's here. So if he's at the bar
Yeah.
and he's booking at home, he
would
would.
be sweaty.
Yeah.
But why would he need to borrow a wrench though?
Maybe that's why he killed her with.
But if it was at 10 o'clock, the murder would have already happened.
That's what I was thinking. You know what? We're probably going to have to.
Maybe he was.
they have to be
Oh,
a
wait up,
two-parter.
hold on. Maybe he was sweaty from running back, and he got the wrench to just be like,
He
"Hey."
wouldn't have ran back though. His car was at Tooley's.
Was it though?
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Because we saw it in the photograph.
Oh, okay. Then
Well,
never mind.
maybe what he was just trying to do was to have an alibi.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe his car was there, but
His car was there.
Yeah. So, but he killed her.
Yeah.
But then he would just blame that his car had problems, so that he had to go back. See what I'm saying? So he's putting some time from him being at the scene to coming back to it. So say if so let's just say if you were at the scene, the murder happened at 38, well, whatever time she died. But I'm just saying, like, if she died right at that time, he would run back, get the tool to make it look like he was just doing something like physical, like, you know, kind of put on a show, and then go back, get his car, and then be like, no, I ran all the way home to go get a tool, and now I'm back.
Right.
What's going on?
But why though? Why would he need a tool?
What?
Because what time was she murdered? At 9:30.
Yeah.
She
So that's
says
like 30 minutes after she was murdered.
yeah, at 30 minutes after she was murdered, he was already back home. But why would he be? He could be sweaty. It only took one hit.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So it says, this is a newspaper article. It says a 28-year-old woman who was killed last night at an altercation that took place in the parking lot behind Tully's restaurant around 9:30. That photo was taken at 9:38. Police have identified a victim as local child psychologist Harmony Ashcroft. So it's anybody's game.
So we still have to figure out what's the first objective.
I don't know. I was just thinking
First-
about that.
I was literally just looking at it.
Now-
The first objective is to figure out that it's prove Bones is innocent. That's the first objective. And I believe he's innocent because there's no way he's going to go from Rambo's bar to walk across the street to Tully's.
Now, what's the significance of Rainbow's Bar? Is that's where
That's
the bouncer
one.
was?
That's the one. Yeah, that's where Bones got kicked out of. So
Oh, okay.
he went there to go drink. He got kicked out because he missed the last call,
And so he just went to the park.
and he got upset. So then the bouncer kicked him out, and he just stumbled to the park because that was the
Okay.
closest thing. So I'm pretty sure because there's like a couple like little things. I'm pretty sure you can just fucking just straight walk it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's a bunch of streets and shit, but I'm pretty sure
See,
you can
here's
just straight
the thing,
walk
though,
it.
is that we have to prove his innocence.
Yeah, I mean,
So what's his other testimony?
I would have to read it.
Now, did we ever figure out if he's left-handed or right-handed?
It says on that blue paper.
He's
He's
left.
left-handed.
Okay.
And for reference to this Andy guy, is right-handed.
I saw that.
We got into it now.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to leave it for the next week.
You sure you don't want to just... I mean, we're only at an hour 12. Never mind. I mean, we can send it. We can finish it if you guys want.
We're
Well,
not
no,
going to
I-
finish this.
Huh?
We're not going to finish this.
No, I think it would be nice to pick up,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
I just don't think that we're far enough along.
Leave them on,
There's
leave them on
no,
a cliffhanger.
there's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't even know the information right now to even get Bones out of the spotlight.
Yeah, so then when we come back, now we kind of have like a clear-cut case of who everybody is. We know their alibis. Now what we'll have to do is when we come back, we'll have to make sure that we have to
figure out Bones is innocent.
Yeah, there's something in we're missing something in the testimonies. The simple fact that we have his fingerprints, we have his mugshot.
Yeah.
And there's going to be something in the statements that it's going to clear
well,
him.
Why don't we all take one statement home, or like before the podcast starts, we all take one person.
Yeah.
And we just take it. We do a deep dive analysis on it.
Yeah, I like that, and then we can come back and try to be like, because I would like to pick it up with us having Bones cleared.
Yeah.
And then we can move on to the second phase.
Okay. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
And then, by the way, if you're out there and you know that we missed something, you know, be sure to reach out to us on our social media and let us know what we missed.
Yeah, I like that. Brandon, that is a giant dumpster fire.
What are you talking about?
Please let Robert do it. His OCD is kicking in. I can feel him sweating.
Thank God.
So yeah, so we'll pick up on our next episode,
Yeah.
clearing Bones, and we'll let you know how. And then we'll move into finding the actual murder.
We're going to have to go through objective number 2 and then 3 and then figure out the murder.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. So, like,
Yeah.
we definitely still got a lot
We
of
got
stuff.
some work to do.
We got some work to do.
Yeah, but I mean,
At least now, I mean, kind of, honestly, I think it's a good idea to kind of break it down into segments so that's not like we're trying to rush everything and kind of like make
Yeah.
it work. But now it's just more like follow along as we try to figure out this fucking murder.
Yeah, and you know what? I really like the fact that we know who the suspects are. We've kind of
Hold on,
deep
hold on,
dived into them a little bit.
hold on. Move your hand. Move your fucking
Both
fat
of my
nuts.
children have
Okay.
OCD.
so yeah.
So
cool.
you can find me on all platforms as Gray Hair and Tattoos. Brandon.
I am Don't Die Disco on all platforms, YouTube and Twitch.
And Robert is Robert Pike on Instagram, and then Sherbert on TikTok and YouTube. So until next time, remember, keep on solving those cold case crimes that aren't real. So we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.